This is Brian Wyatt for WeAreColerain.com with Coach Bolden. Coach, we just came away with the victory, 21-7, but not a pretty victory.
No, not at all. 12 penalties. Once again, I'm gonna bite my tongue on this one. It's a little rough. I don't want to be viewed as that coach and all that kind of stuff, but I think let's just put it this way. I think the officiating crew should go back and look at the game tomorrow, much like we will from an offensive defensive perspective.
Well, let's go to the play on the field. Walking wounded, it's a mass unit. Coming into this game, I mean, you had a bunch of guys, and then you lost a couple today. Talk about the couple of guys that hurt and you were missing tonight.
Yeah, we're banged up. Obviously we don't have Desmond Howard and our Desmond Noel, and we don't have Howard Watkins, and that's arguably our two better O and D line, what they can do, and losing Zach, our wing back, early in the game with the forearm injury, and then Deshaunte's a little banged up. But I told the kids the other day in practice, I said, we're going to play who we play the first 3 games of the year, and those were physical games. You play Warren Central, who is a physical football team. You play St. X, who everybody thinks it's St. X, and that they're but those boys are physical. And then the LaSalle game, and we're banged up. There's no getting around that. We're not going to hide from it or anything like that. People can watch the film and tell that. But we got to get healthy, and the next guy's got to step up and be ready to go.
Well, let's talk about those. You always say the next guy that steps up. Got a couple offensive linemen with our first starts. It was Lockwood and Bridges. Am I correct on that?
Yeah, Lockwood and Bridges, and then we had Cam Ferguson in there, and then we had a couple of the wide receivers. So at one point,
Kendricks on defense.
At some point tonight, we had 5 different guys playing meaningful time offensively, their first game of the year, and then Kendricks over on defense for Kevin, who will be back next week, thank goodness. So yeah, I mean, but those guys stepped up and they did great, and it's a hard-fought win.
Mason Comets coming off a big win last week off Winton Woods, scoring 41 points, and you hold that team to 7 points. You can't. Talk about that defense a little bit.
Yeah, I think the defense was great, and I don't want to take anything from the offense and the ball control. Also, I'd like to see the time of possession in the first half. They had 3 drives. I do think I'm correct there.
We had 3 drives.
Guys. Yeah, it was 3 and 3, and that's you know what I mean, and that's and they had 3 quick ones. So that's big. You know what I mean? And we had 3 long ones. They had 3 quick ones, and the defense playing lights out like that makes for good football for us.
So a lot of the critics on the sidelines and the extra coaches in the stands always said, hey, we talked about preseason, this is going to be an offensive explosion this year, dynamics. But you talk about ball control here. Are we just kind of what are we doing here that we're not scoring 50 points a game?
Well, you got to do what you can take to win. And when you got 5 different guys playing that don't normally play, and your guy calling the shots and all that isn't as dynamic as he normally is because he's a little banged up. I mean, you got a good coach, and I'd hope would think that you got to play the cards you're dealt. And you got to make sure you play them right. So,
well, and you talked a little bit at ball control. So we've seen ball control because really you've seen 4 of the best defenses in the city the first 4 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's one of those things where our thing is, you got to get better each week. But our big thing now is we got to get healthy. When we get healthy and when we're there and we got them all, then